What's going on, guys? Welcome. Take two. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Curious Idiots video. Today I got part 3 of an honest discussion on race, politics, and police for you guys, and I'm going to be talking about family structure. So without further ado, let's get right into the content. Now, to begin the video, I want to outline some important statistics to establish a foundation for what I'm going to be talking about today. According to the US Census Bureau, the poverty rates amongst different types of families go as follows. For married couples, the poverty rate sits at 4.7. For single father households, the poverty rate is 12.7, and for single motherhood households, it sits at 24.9. The highest poverty rate of all possible family groups. Also, a 2017 study in the International Journal of Crime, Law, and Justice seek to look at the effects of single parenthood households and the effects of child poverty and crime rates. The study concluded that single parenthood households, particularly single motherhood households, were devastating to males in terms of their likelihood to end up in poverty or their likelihood to commit crimes. Now, why do I bring this up? According to the most recent statistics, 70 to 77% of all black births are to single moms with no father present. Given the study and the stats that we just looked at, this can shed a lot of light as to why the black community lags behind in certain aspects in American life. Now, there's a wide variety of factors that can be attributed to why this is the case. You can talk about mass incarceration and some of the crime bills we talked about in part 1, the war on drugs, which has discriminated against black men in particular, imprisoning them at a disproportionate rate, and we could talk about the black on black murder rate, which leaves a lot of young black men in caskets as opposed to in their children's lives. One thing I've noticed has been neglected in the discourse when it comes to explaining the black single motherhood rate is the welfare state. The welfare state actually provides incentives for single motherhood and subsidizes it due to the fact that if you're a poor single mother, you can actually get government benefits, unemployment insurance, assistance, and cash assistance as well if there is no father in the home. I understand that these policies come from a place of good intentions, but it's very important for us to recognize that good intentions do not always translate to good outcomes. This is highlighted by the effects of the welfare state. When the Great Society programs were introduced in the 1960s under the Lyndon B. Johnson administration, the single black motherhood rate sat around 20 to 25%. Today it's in the high 70s. And this isn't just exclusive to the black community. The welfare state has also impacted other racial groups, mainly including Hispanics and whites. I would be remiss if I failed to mention the role of personal responsibility and its impacts on creating this crisis. I don't want to sound too traditional, but it's generally not a great idea to have children with someone you are not committed to. And what the welfare state does is it incentivizes those kinds of personal choices, where the government effectively says, we will take care of you despite what you choose to do with your life. And I want to make it clear, I'm not coming after the people that are in jail due to the war on drugs or mass incarceration policies. I'm strictly talking about people who choose to have children with people they're not committed to and people that gamble with their sexual responsibility. On the topic of personal responsibility and cultural choices, I also feel like it's important to mention that black African immigrants on average tend to do better than American-born blacks. The likelihood of immigrants from Africa still having the nuclear family intact, that is, a married man and woman with their children, is significantly higher and on par with the average marriage rate in America, in contrast with the black American marriage rate. Given what we've established, I now want to turn our attention to something I stumbled upon on the Black Lives Matter official website. If you go to the Black Lives Matter official website and you go to the What We Believe section on their website, you'll notice a paragraph that particularly sticks out. And this paragraph states that we disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and quote-unquote villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. Given what we've established regarding the effects of single-parent households and their effects on youth, poverty, and crime rates, I cannot in good conscience support this message that Black Lives Matter is putting out, because I believe that we need more fathers in the household, that we need a greater presence of strong black men to lead black youth, particularly young black men, to serve as role models to them. I find it particularly ironic how politicians blindly support Black Lives Matter because of the political clout it gives them. Are they aware that Black Lives Matter seeks to disrupt the nuclear family? And are they aware of the devastating effects of single motherhood on black youth, particularly black males? Like I said prior, if anything, black communities and all racial groups need more fathers within their communities in order to mentor, guide, and serve as disciplinary figures to the youth. I don't really like referencing Hollywood celebrities because I don't think that they're arbiters of truth or that their popularity carries any weight in terms of what they say, but I can't deny what Denzel Washington says in this interview clip I'm about to show you guys, is staunchly accurate. He talks about how important it is for young black males to have father figures consistently present in their lives to guide them. Take a listen.
You know, incarceration rates in America has been a problem, especially as opposed to minorities. And Roman delves into the issues around the legal system. Do you think we've made any headway in the legal?
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, "Yeah, they're little yummies." I said, "Who?" He said, "Little yummies. Look up, Google Little Yummy." Little Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer.
Wow.
And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, and he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Who's doing life now, and a 16-year-old.
That makes no sense.
You blame the system? Where was his father? Yeah. It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And yeah, well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
Yeah.
You know, like I did talk about my 3 closest friends, and they did, 15 to 25. One did 28, this and that. I was the only one of the 3 that had a father in my life, even though my parents were together. But I still had a father who was a gentle man and a good example.
I may not have the experience of being a black male, and I may not understand how important it is as a black male to have a father figure in my life, but here's someone who does. And I heeded his advice and listened to his arguments, and this is what inspired me to look into the single motherhood rate and its effects on the black community. That's all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the video. I hope I highlighted something interesting for you guys today, and as always, I encourage you guys to do your own research and be part of the Curious Idiots discussion. Don't forget to like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and subscribe to the Curious Idiots channel and our Instagram page. And as always, stay curious, my friends. I'll catch you guys next time.